from the get-go. Let me also state that we're not going to reveal at this point in time any of the details of this investigation. Why? There are still witnesses that we are looking for, and I do not want to be accused of tainting this investigation or suggesting a story about this investigation to witnesses that we have not located and talked to. Simply put, that is the appropriate thing to do. The speed, the time frame in which we get to a conclusion is of no moment. Everyone should pause and reflect and recognize that a rush to judgment does not equal anything. In fact, in the criminal justice process, if you do not dot every I and cross every T, and there are deficiencies in what you do from an investigatory standpoint, it has dire consequences. So out of an abundance of caution and out of respect to both the decedent, Mr. Joe McKnight, as well as the individual who shot and killed Mr. McKnight, Mr. Ronald Gasser, that's the way it has to be. And it can be no other way. In fact, to even belabor this point even more, we just finished the autopsy roughly 2 hours ago, which is a very important portion of the investigation, and it would be completely premature in this kind of case in order to reveal anything prior to that. And in fact, they are still reviewing their results. I can't help but comment when listening to the radio and the comments on the social networks. Anytime a statement starts with, "I feel," you're often running on a very dangerous trail. Any story other than the story that you hear from me, the coroner, Dr. Jerry Satanovich, or the district attorney, Paul Connick, should not be believed. Because our story is going to start with the evidence they don't matter. It's what the evidence suggests, what the evidence reveals, and what the evidence is, simply put. So I would strongly suggest that you stop believing what you're reading. So let me put just a couple of things that I've been made aware of to rest. Mr. Gasser did not stand over Mr. McKnight and fire shots into him. The 3 casings were located within the vehicle. Mr. Gasser was in his vehicle when he fired 3 shots. So that did not happen. That witness account, and we talked to that witness, if it's the same one that I'm talking about, is factually incorrect. It did not happen. There is no video that we've been able to recover at this point in time. So that does not exist either. We have no witness account of an apology being made by Mr. McKnight to Mr. Gasser. So that did not occur. And I'm sure by the time we finish this press conference that there will now be new iterations of this story now that I've dispelled those three ingredients of a story. So once again, I caution you to only believe the story that comes from me, Dr. Satanovich, or the District Attorney Paul Connick. So none of that is true. I've been already accused of dropping the ball, of doing this and doing that, because we released Mr. Gasser last evening after we took his statement. As I said before, external influences will not motivate this office one way or the other as to how we are going to conduct this investigation strategically. And because there are still witnesses that are out there, I can't go into the details as to why that is at this point in time, but I can tell you I can't wait for that moment so that I can set the record straight. But we will leave no stone unturned. We've had as many as 30 to 40 officers working this investigation through the night. And we will continue to work this, and that's my commitment to the community. Because in the end, the community's interest is larger than any individual's interest. And we have to keep that in mind. The fairness and equity interest of the community outweighs the interest of any individual. Now, to the protesters out front who have asked for us to block the West Bank Expressway, that is not going to happen. In 20 minutes, you will be given a command to not obstruct the main travel portion of the West Bank Expressway. If you continue to do so, you will go to jail. You have every right to peacefully demonstrate on the property between the fence and the highway, but you will not be allowed to obstruct the safety and security of the traveling public in Jefferson Parish, and we will not cordon off a piece of the elevated West Bank Expressway that's been requested, a piece of the lower West Bank Expressway that's been requested, the interstate highway, or any other piece of highway in Jefferson Parish for purposes of that demonstration. It is not going to happen. That is not what we do. So that we're clear, you will abide by the Code of Ordinances of Jefferson Parish. You will abide by the state statutes of the state of Louisiana, and we can do this in an appropriate way, and I am more than willing to work with you so that you can get your message across, but it's not going to be to the detriment of the other citizens of Jefferson Parish, and it's not going to be in violation of any existing laws. So I'll turn it over to the coroner at this point in time that will give you some preliminary results as it relates to the autopsy.
Good afternoon, everybody. I was at the scene yesterday, and this morning the autopsy was performed by Dr. Dana Trosclair at my office with myself in attendance. I'll give you a brief rundown. of the wounds that Mr. McKnight suffered. First, he had a wound to his left hand with a grazed wound to the knuckle of the third finger on his left hand, which subsequently entered the index finger and exited on the palmar side of his index finger. That was wound number one. Wound number two is a entry wound to his right shoulder that went into his right lung cavity, punctured his right lung, and was entered here and lodged around the 9th thoracic vertebrae laterally. It was palpable under the skin, but still in his body. The third gunshot was right below his right nipple, just a little medial to his right nipple. It entered into his chest, down into his liver, and went through his liver and into his kidney, through his liver, and exited in his right low back at the L1 level. That's the three wounds that Mr. McKnight had. I can tell you I've spoken extensively with Dr. Trosclair and looked at it myself. The wounds are not consistent with being shot from above while on the ground. And that's all I have to say at this point. Mark, do you have anything?
Look, I'm just here just to say that it shouldn't be a rush to judgment, that the facts are still coming out, and that we should base it on facts and not Facebook and other social media. I pray for the McKnight family and continue to pray for them. And remember that we lost someone in this. Rather than putting out misinformation, we need to focus on the facts. That's all I have to say. Thank you.